Better healthcare, yes, yes, and yes, yes.
A lower court, you know, giving decisions that that negates the precedence of the Supreme Court. Now, but that in the UK here, once there's an established legal position, people don't question. In fact,
welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Fash. If it's your first time on this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy it here. Remember to subscribe if you have not. Remember to leave a comment and to like. To all my OGs, thank you so much for always supporting me, for always coming back and watching my videos. I am super grateful to you guys. Okay, so today I want to talk about, actually I want to do something very interesting in this video, because all throughout the week I was getting some comments about the last video I did, and I'd like to address a few things and also shed light on a few things. Okay, but before we get into that, I want to talk to you guys about the Lemfi app. Yes. You guys already know that I am, you know, pro Lemfi, all right? So in case you don't know, Lemfi is the #1 app that myself, my families, and my friends in the United States, in UK, and in Canada used to send monies to their loved ones in the African countries. Yes, so in case you have family members in countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Senegal, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Benin, Tanzania, Uganda, or Rwanda, and you like to send money from the United States, from Canada, or from the United Kingdom, Lemfi is the app for you. Lemfi is fast, it is reliable, and you can 100% trust it. Okay, I have been using Lemfi since I was in the United States, and I have never regretted it once. Your money gets to your destination instantly. When I'm talking instantly, within the blink of an eye, your money gets to your destination. There is no network wahala. I have never experienced any network glitch with Lemfi. The moment you send it, it gets there immediately. And what's so amazing about Lemfi is that you get charged absolutely nothing for your transactions on the app. Yes, and as if that is not enough, Lemfi is the only app that offers the most competitive exchange rate in the market, and I am not capping, guys. The exchange rate on the app is absolutely unbeat. All right, and then for our FASHFAM, okay, when you use the link in the description box below to download Lemfi, you get a 10% cashback for your first transaction of $150 and above on the Lemfi app. Yes, 10% cashback, 0 transaction fee, and the best exchange rates in the market. I'm telling you, you cannot get it better anywhere else. All right, and in case you already have the app and you're yet to transact, make sure you use the code FASHFAM, as you can see below, in your first transaction on the Lemfi app. So what are you waiting for, guys? Use the link below to download Lemfi, or use the code FASHFAM to get a 10% cashback for your very first transaction of $150, capped at $50. All right, thank you guys so very much. Okay, so now let's get back to today's video. Yeah, so like I said, there were a few of you that sent comments in the last video, and first of all, thank you for, you know, those that even disagreed with me. At least a few of you no, a lot of you. It was just maybe 1 or 2 that were not, you know, that were rude in the last video. But I love that you guys, those who disagreed well, like disagreed with sense, you know, respectfully. So thank you guys so very much. So today I want to address a few things that, you know, a number of you raised, just because I realized that video got, you know, averagely more views than my other videos, and I want to believe that, you know, a lot of people are applying for schools. Maybe in short, you're not applying by now, you're getting responses from schools right now, and maybe there's a dilemma as to which country do I want to go and study, and that's why, or maybe people are just moving around, right, and that's why, or maybe people just want to know. I don't know, but what I know is that the views on that video was quite high. So I want to assume that you guys really need, you know, some information, and some of you asked some questions that I would like to address also in this video. So that's what I will be doing. I'll be going through your comments and I'll be calling your name on this video. So let's start with Temilade. She said, I agree with you. I cannot live in the UK because of their weather and dull, depressing atmosphere and their small houses. I prefer the United States. Actually, I agree with you, you know, about the dull weather, because I spoke about it in the last video. However, the weather is getting bright now, so it's not so bad. I think because, you know, I came in close to winter, so winter everywhere is always gloomy and whatever, and it's even in spring that we are the UK's weather is bipolar-ish, okay? It's cold by 10 o'clock, it's hot by 1 o'clock, it's cold, it's raining by 2 o'clock. Like it can be very, very unstable, right? But for the most part of it, the weather can be dull, can be, you know, kind of depressing-ish. But during the summer, you know, spring to summer, so far, you know, it's been bright. Today is really bright. I wish I could show you outside. It's really, really bright now. But I get your point, Sha, that the weather is very, you know, depressing. But would that be a reason? I mean, unless, and you see, I was going to say that would that be a reason why I would not stay in the country? Maybe, because, you know, there was a time I was contemplating Canada, but when I thought about the cold, I'm like, God, yes, there's summer, yes, it gets sunny during the summertime, but when it's winter, the extreme winter they have there is one of the reasons why I'm like, am I really sure I want to do Canada and all? But, you know, yeah, so yeah, thank you, Temilade. Yeah, all right. So this person doesn't have a name. He said, to be honest, yes, the weather is dull and depressing, but I have friends visit from the US and they wondered how we were never scared of being stopped by the police or even watching our back. We took them to a restaurant in Heights, to be precise, and they were shocked that people just enjoyed their life. They said they have 2 guns under their pillow whenever they go to bed. Or more, I can never live in perpetual fear all the days of my life. No way. That alone is a turn off. So yes, we all know that there is security issues in the United States, especially when it comes to gun violence and all of that. I've already shared my experience, and thankfully I have never been in face to face with someone, you know, holding a gun to my face. I've seen people hold guns in the US, but not like being aggressive or being violent about it or causing any harm with it. But yes, it has happened around my house. It has happened in schools that was close to my school. So yes, we all know about, you know, security issues and it's worse in some states. It's not in all. Well, you see, the thing about the US is so unpredictable when it comes to gun violence. You can say that this state, oh, they've never experienced, and the next thing you're hearing that someone went to the supermarket and is killing people. You understand that? So yeah, I totally get that, and I think that's one of the reasons why I was really skeptical about, especially, you know, starting a family in the United States. You know, that was one of my fears of staying there. But at the end of the day, really, it doesn't mean that there are no violence here. Yes, there's stabbing and whatever, but it can never be compared to the harm, you know, with shooting, mass shooting in the United States. You can never compare the crime rate of the United States to the UK. You cannot compare it, okay? So yeah. But that doesn't mean that there is no crime here also, right? So at the end of the day, it's God that keeps, it's God that protects. I remember when there was shooting in the University of Virginia, just when I was in the United States this time around, and there was a bit of fear, you know, even though it was quite a distance, but people were like very cautious. You know, there were lots of police presence in my school and all of that. But at the end of the day, I just tell myself, you know what, it's God that protects. There was one that happened in a Walmart close to my house. It is God that protects, close to my city rather. It is God that protects. When I was in the US the last time also, you know, there was some shootouts in the Bronx where I was staying. It is God that protects. Once the Lord, you know, that's why my going out, my coming in, I always pray and I always commit it to the hands of God. And that's the thing, even here, like I still pray for protection for myself and my families even here, because you never can tell. People can be crazy anywhere. So the same way there's insecurity in Nigeria, there is insecurity in the US, there is insecurity here. It is God that protects. Okay, all right, so let us move on. Lado anyway says that UK, better food, better healthcare, better location, more secure, more fun things to do, more the Premiership for those who love football, better transportation system. Let me take it one after the other. Okay, it says the UK has better food. I absolutely agree. When it comes to the quality of the food that we take here compared to the United States, oh my God, the bar is just too high. Like the UK, I mean, not high like Africa high, but you know what I'm talking about, like the quality of the food you take. Comparing both countries, the UK beats hands down, okay, hands down. Talking about the quality of poultry, the quality of vegetables, like food. People say that UK food is expensive. I don't think so, because I believe that, you know, in the US food was more expensive for me. In the United States, I spend so much more on food than I do here in the UK. And also here, getting African food is so easily available over here. Like everywhere you find an African store. However, it depends also on the states that you say in the United States. When I was in Maryland, you can find African store like you would find it easily here, but it wasn't the same in Virginia, right? And I'm sure there are certain cities or cities here in the UK also that you will not find African food very easily. So it depends on where you're staying, but comparatively, food in the US, oh my god, I could not even, there were certain things that I had to be ordering. If you guys have been watching my video so far, you know that I had to order a lot of things. But quality of food, the UK beats the United States hands down. I'm sorry, but that's the fact. A lot of the food in the United States, they are adulterated, they have chemicals, they are, it's just, yeah. But this, don't take my word for it, go and make your research. It's just the fact, okay? It's not what I am saying, because before you come and fight with me, this is research. This is what people have, researched, scientists. A lot of their food, too much sugar, too much sodium, too much chemicals and all. It doesn't mean there are no chemicals in the food over here, but you can't compare it, okay? All right, so one thing I also want to mention before I go ahead is, when I'm talking about the United States and the United Kingdom, I need you to understand that the United Kingdom is a very, very, very small country, and a number of you pointed it out to me like I did not know. But I believe you pointed out for the people that are watching the video, and I truly appreciate that. But really, the United Kingdom is like the whole of Texas. Texas, one state in the United States, is bigger than the entire United Kingdom. So the United Kingdom is small. So when you're making comparison about the sizes of houses, a number of things in the United Kingdom, it's because the United States is huge. So there are certain things that you cannot compare, but I am comparing it based on my experience living in both countries. So like some people mentioned, racism in some states in the United Kingdom, in the United States, is not the same as it was in West Virginia or in New York and stuff like that. It differs, and I think I mentioned it also in the last video. I just wanted to make sure that I put that out there. So better healthcare, yes, and yes. The fact that you get healthcare for free over here, yes, we pay national insurance, but yes, once you pay your national insurance, everything is free, okay? So that alone is I mean, okay, I've been to the clinics, ER in the UK. I've also been to the ER in the United States, and I would say that the only thing is, you get attended to quickly in the United States, because most times you're paying your money. If you don't have a good insurance, you're going to pay a arm, a leg, a whole body. In the United States, especially if you mistakenly enter into the ER, you pay so much. But here you can go in and someone is going to attend to you. You might have to wait a while because the NHS system is quite overwhelmed right now, but you will get attended to. You will get one of the best doctors or surgeons or whatever to attend to you. So far, my experience medical wise in the United States, in the United Kingdom, I will always pick the United Kingdom, because there is no fear of God, I've gone now, they are going to send one bill to my house. I've already shared the story of the test I did in the United States that cost me over 2,500. till today I've not seen the result of that test, you get that, but I've seen a bill of 2,500, and I have insurance, right? So it depends on the strength of your insurance, but sometimes even when you have a good insurance, you still co-pay in your medical bills in the US. So yeah, I would always choose the United Kingdom medical system, because really when it comes to the quality of care, I will still even pick here, because sometimes with the experience, there was a lady who went to do IVF, someone that I know very closely, and she would tell you about how sometimes some of the hospitals there, they are so profit oriented that they would write so much tests, so much things just to get the money, and at the end of the day, what is wrong, sometimes they wouldn't even get to the root of it. They don't know what's wrong with you, but they will keep getting money. I'm not saying that's how all the health system in the US is, absolutely not. I'm just saying that because of the profits mindset of the medical system in the US, sometimes they tend to prioritize money over the health of the people. And again, don't take my word for it. This is just the experience of people that are close to me that I am sharing, all right, and my own experience, right? So but like I said, it was still in the US. She was eventually able to get treated. You get that? So it depends on where you go to, but you will spend a lot. You will spend a lot. So when it comes to the quality of care, I would say I will choose the UK, but I would say that yes, the quality of care is almost the same, with the US and the UK, depending on the states that you find yourself. But when it comes to the cost of care, come on, the UK every time. All right, so okay, let's move on. Better location it depends on what you mean by location. Yes, the United States is far, but it's closer to Canada. So if you have family in Canada, United States is definitely closer to you. But I would say that the UK is closer to Nigeria. So, you know, if I want to travel home, I don't have to be, you know, I don't have to take flights for 15 hours. I can literally get to where I'm going in, you know, 6 hours. So yeah, the location is definitely better for me as a Nigerian. But again, it depends on where you stay and all of that. But I think that, you know, being around Europe, it's easy to access other European countries and all. But anyways, that's my thought. More secure. We've already talked about security. More fun things to do. Yes, I think so. I think there, you know, there are parks here. There are lots of activities for families, for children. In the US too, there are parks. There are, you know, things that you can do depending on the states that you're in. But honestly, I do think that there are more fun things to do here than in the United States. But if you have a good community in the United States too, you guys can hang out, you know, organize home parties, organize this and that. Yeah. But going out, you know, walking in the streets and seeing people having parties and stuff like that, you'll find that somehow here in the UK than you would in the US, depending again on the states that you stay. If you're in New York, you will have a lot more fun things to do than you would if you were, you know, maybe in Virginia or maybe even in Texas, depending on what area of Texas that you are in and stuff like that. So I'll say that one is relative, right? And then better transportation, premiership, obviously football, Europe, obviously. And then better transportation system. I absolutely agree. And again, it comes with the size of the country, I think. Yes, because the UK is quite small, it's easy to go to different cities. I can't count how many cities I've been to since I came into the UK. I can count if I try. It's not like I've been to so much, but I have been able to travel. When I was in the US, I could not travel like that because you have to take a flight where you're going, you know, within the United States. Yeah, so time to low. So yes, I would say that transportation system is definitely better here. The buses are there, the train is there. You can take a train from one city to the other. So yeah, transportation system, definitely the UK. The US, you have to have a car depending on where you're staying most times. New York did have good transportation system, like their buses, their trains to take you within New York. But here, I would say that yeah, transportation is cheaper and transportation is you know, is more accessible. Better shopping experience. Better shopping experience. Yes, I would say yes. Based on my own experience, there are a lot of stores, a lot of high brands around here. Not that they are not in the US too. There are a lot of them in the US. But I would say that I have been, when I was in the US, I used to order in. Funny enough, I order from other countries, you know, when it comes to clothing and stuff. But here, I've entered into a lot of stores around here. I don't know why. I just feel like it's everywhere is close by, so you can go close by to go and get, you know, a dress or to get something, like, yeah. And even grocery shopping, right? Grocery shopping, yeah, I think they're almost the same thing. But yeah, I would say I have better shopping experience here than in the United States. But again, like I said, it depends on where you're staying, depends on the city you're staying in the United States. When I was in New York, I had better shopping experience in New York than I've ever had here, because everything was always on sales. I was always going to Macy's, I was always going to H&M, I was always going over there. So yeah, I would say that it's relative. It's relative. It depends on where you stay, right? It depends on where you stay. This one says that he also said quality clothing. Quality clothing, yes, I will agree with that. But again, when I was in New York, I had really good quality clothing, designer clothing for cheap also. When they are running their sales. But I think here generally you will most likely get quality clothing, so unless again you are shopping in Primark and the rest of it, where you will not, you know, you get things quite cheaper but not high quality. But I think you will get that in both countries. So I don't think that would be like a factor. Again, it depends on where you are staying in the United States. Okay, less chances of getting killed, yes. Also a better place to go in family, absolutely yes. Okay, all right, now the US is bigger and cheaper housing. I would say bigger, yes. Cheaper, I don't think so. I don't think the houses in the US are cheaper than the houses in the UK. Do you know how much it takes to buy a house in the United States? We're talking about Oh God, it's a lot of money. Okay, in the UK too, it is a lot of money, but you cannot compare it. Okay, I don't think the houses are cheaper. I would say they are the same. Okay, when I was in New York, I was renting then a room in a house, like a shared apartment. I was renting a room for $1,000, right? And I think that's almost the same you rent in London. I'm sure it has gone high now, because I'm talking about when I was in 2019, right? That was when I was talking about. I'm sure it would have gone really high now with inflation and all. I think that's the same thing you will get in London or any big city over here in the United Kingdom. I don't think houses are cheap. I don't think rent is cheaper in the United States. I think they are the same, really. And then more prestigious. What do you mean by prestigious? Like, is it the country? Is it the people? I don't know. And higher pay. But I would say, like, in America obviously is more prestigious. Okay, America is America. I'm not arguing with them. America is America. Okay. Higher pay and higher salary, absolutely yes. You will get the chances of getting higher salaries in the United States, so definitely. Better higher institutions, Harvard, the Ivy League schools, yes. Yeah, I would say yes. I mean, there are really good schools here in the UK also, but you cannot compare to the US. And again, it depends on the size of states, the size of the country rather, and then yeah, that would determine. But again, better higher institution, better money. You're paying. You're gonna pay. So yes, better higher institution, but you're gonna pay a lot. But there are also really good schools over here in the UK also, and you don't get to pay. You don't get to go into debt to be able to attend higher institution. Better hustle ground in the world, nowhere comes close, obviously. Okay, the US is bigger, you have better opportunities to hustle, to do any jobs. You will always get something doing in the United States if you know your way, right? So I totally agree with that. And then the American dream, obviously, whatever that means to you. As for the weather, I don't care about it. I enjoy the weather. It's like family time for me. Housing, UK houses are majestic and evoke some kind of pleasant feeling. I like the old architectural design. Again, if money was not the problem, London all the way. Well, that again, it's relative. I don't think the homes are majestic. I'm sorry. Yes, they have some kind of vibes to it, some kind of vintage vibe. Yes, and sometimes it's so beautiful. When I'm taking the train and we pass through all this, ancient cities in the UK. Oh my God, I love the view. You see the what they call it, the hills. It's always so beautiful. Until you live inside and you realize the heating is old, the heating system is old, it's not giving new house vibe. You understand that? So again, it depends. Again, like I said, he loves old architecture. That's what a lot of people like. So it depends on your taste, really. So yeah, so again, you see that both countries have their advantages, they have their disadvantages, but will I say that the UK is better than the US? It depends on what you want, okay? But I would say that in the last video I said many of you asking that I I said I regretted moving to the UK. I don't regret moving to the UK. I love here. I did not regret staying in the United States either. I love both countries. I think both countries are, they are great. Let me see if I can take one more. Someone said when I read this comment, I laughed. Someone said, I knew this day would come, because the title of the video was I regret leaving the United. No, I said I regret leaving America for the UK ? And the person said, I knew this day. So there are some of you that are waiting for me to regret my move. You will wait a long time. I'm sorry. You go wait, tire. Oh my goodness. People can be very funny. So someone said, I live in Canada and I think they share more similarities with the UK than the US. Really, going by your analysis, the racism is very subtle here. There is also a culture of being polite even if they don't like you. Taxis are cray cray. I've been to New York once. Let's just say New York is Lagos' big cousin. Hoping to visit the UK soon. So yeah, I don't know, I've never lived in Canada, but if you say so, okay, all right. Someone said British people are non-confrontational. You must also know that it it is a highly legal country. Legal in the sense that an action can be exploited legally for any reason. As a result, a lot of people are careful about how they talk, react, or look at you. Talking to people anyhow or looking at them in a certain manner will make them instigate a legal action against you, premised on mental illness, intrusion, assault, harassment, or something ridiculous. You just have to be careful. And the smile you get from people on the street is on the surface. Those smiles are fake. Take it with a pinch of salt. Well, I believe that the legal thing is everywhere. In the US too, you get, so I don't think that you get sued as much as you in the UK as much as you would in the US. Like, you get sued for everything. You can sue for anything in the United States, and it's crazy. Okay, I think that the legal action thing is it's in both countries, right? So yes, I have to go to church. Okay. Thank you guys.
The person is right, actually.
Really? Come now. Come, baby. Come now. You look nice. Come.
I'm not nice.
Come, John.
Let me just stop from here.
Oh yeah, tell us.
No, I think the conflation may be that US is more litigious.
Litigious?
Yes.
Okay.
What it means is because US is a
capitalistic.
Yes, because of the capitalist nature, it makes people more prone to going to court and all those ones. But in the UK, the established laws are there; they are not arguable. I mean, I was talking to a senior person who had been practicing here who schooled here and is, and he was saying that unlike in Nigeria, that where even established legal positions or precedents, people will still go to court to go and question it or argue it. You still see a lower court, maybe it's only lawyers that will get what I mean now. A lower court, giving decisions that negates the precedence of the Supreme Court. Now, but that in the UK here, once there's an established legal position, people don't question. In fact, it's almost like as a legal counsel or something, you can your certification or your qualification can be called to question if you're found questioning an established legal procedure and system. So it's a thing here that you see that people try to adhere to the rule, and even when you're dealing with government institutions or even corporate bodies or one thing, if there's a legal position that supports your claim, all you need to do is write a letter or do a pre-action, whatever, and people already respect it. Maybe that's what the person is trying to talk about. There's so much respect for legal positions or statement or all those kind of things here, a bit more, that everybody kind of give it respect or precedence. I mean, you could have issues with any body, county, whatever. Once there's an established legal position that favors your position and you make it known to the person, more often than not, they bow out.
The lawyer have spoken, so I got nothing to contribute. Alright, so guys, I have to go to church. We are very late, okay? So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think about this conversation in the comment section below. Until meet again, I still remain your favorite girl, Victoria Idilifa. I shall see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye.